This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and let's get right into the news. All right, so we got 16,000 gigabytes of data was gone through for evidence on Yella Beezy trial. His attorneys argue that most of it is irrelevant, and I would assume most of it is irrelevant, okay? I don't think they have a super strong case tying him to the murder of Mo3. They're trying to do this as like a murder for hire as well, just like a Little Dirk thing. Now, Little Dirk has credit card receipts and all that kind of stuff, right? In this case, Yella Beezy, it's kind of wish-washy, you know. And you got Rainwater, who's the manager for Mo3. He's going to be taking the stand against Yella Beezy, probably putting some history to the beef. Mo3 was crazy too. I don't know, man. Like, this is what happens when you beef with a rapper and then the other one dies. Somehow they're gonna, like, look, it could be a matter of time. Yo Gotti, right? They were looking at the brother, right? The brother was friends, you know, like, it was just like there was a lot of evidence that pointed towards Big Joke, right? And there's a lot of evidence that CMG had a long-standing beef. There's 3 shootings that happened that were linked to CMG people, right? So it's like, we don't know. In a matter of time, more CMG guys could be in trouble, you know? I know they got the people that actually did the murder, but once you start looking at, like, who pushed for this, that murder to happen about Young Dolph, these things come back to haunt you, you know, when you have beef with rappers. You know, that's all I'm saying. A judge has ordered authorities to return $149,000 in cash, assorted jewelry, multiple vehicles seized from Young. I think it's like a couple $1 million and stuff. Now, here's another example. Young Thug, he had a long-standing beef with YFN Lucci and Nut, and it was public, and that eventually came back to haunt him in this RICO, you know? So it's like, it's not worth having these public beefs. It only results in an investigation eventually if somebody gets hurt, you know? It's a fact. Here's another. It's like these rappers, man, they get so caught up in trying to be gangster, right? That they land themselves in jail. YNW Melly, he was in court recently. Right now he's fighting witness intimidation or whatever. Drew Findling's his lawyer now. YNW Melly's mother shares emotional message saying, "I miss my son today. It's hard to see him in chains. At least you get to see him alive. The other 2 guys are dead." She wants to hug him and tell him I love him. Okay. I don't know. You know, it's like, 2 guys are dead. I'm not saying they were the perfect angels, but I don't know. This is just a weird case. Let's be real. It's a weird case. You know, it's like, you might like his music, but we can also say, like, this is crazy. Like, this guy was someone. It's almost like Young Thug. You really don't want beef with these kinds of people. Like, they're crazy. And the 2 friends probably should have known that. Unless maybe they were just as crazy, he got the drop on him. We don't know if he actually did it either, so can't really say that. But if he did do it, he got the drop on him. Joe Budden and a bunch of other people are alluding to some big rapper dropping an album tonight. I'm assuming it's either J. Cole. I don't see Drake dropping tonight at all. I could be wrong, but I'm seeing it's more probably J. Cole, the fall off or whatever. I mean, we'll see how good this is. I mean, J. Cole's a good rapper, but it's disappointing a lot in the past, like, 7 years to me. Maybe not to you. I'm just talking about me, okay? And, because, like, I like J. Cole. It's just that, I don't know, man. We'll have to see. We'll have to see, man, how this plays out. And if he actually drops tonight. Then we got Yaya Mayweather reacting to one of NBA YoungBoy's girlfriends. He says, "It's only so much a person can take." And then she's a fat white woman. I'm sick of my stomach, actually. You giving girls money to go shopping and buying girls jewelry, but still haven't given me money for our son's birthday party. You know who paid for my son's birthday? My dad. And then she has another post where like, I didn't lay up and have a baby with my dad. I had a baby with you. You should contribute. It doesn't matter how much money my dad has. It's true. He should. You gotta have. If you have all these kids, you gotta take care of them, right? Then we got Dame Dash saying that, you know, it's a humiliation ritual when everyone he's beefing with has these big deals coming through, you know? It's more of a, they're doing more than you. They're putting the work in. Dame Dash is standing on, I don't work for nobody, I work for myself, and it's not paying out. Let's be real, you know? It's not, okay? I know it is what it is. You know, this is his reaction to learning that Charlamagne got a $200 million deal, right? For his network. Now, Charlamagne reacted and said, hey, I'm not even going to respond to that. Dame Dash just needs help and I'll pay for the therapy. I think he does need therapy, bro. I think he lost his marbles a long time ago. And, you know, he's functioning fine, but I'm just saying, I think that, like, something snapped in him, you know? Then we got Cameron and Jim Jones. They've been going back and forth. We already saw Jim Jones last night, reacted, and he was very ecstatic that, you know, Cameron 50 and everybody responded because it keeps his mojo going, you know, and maybe he can turn that podcast into something, you know. But so he gets his plan every year. Cameron always responds to him and keeps his name going, right? And they just keep, like, Jim Jones, nobody listens to his music anymore. I see, like, you know, see kind of what he's trying to do with the space, right? But it's not being executed in a way where it's going to, like, make money, you know? Like, anybody who's ever ran something like that before, like something that needs to generate money, like I had a studio for a little while, not a music studio, like a film studio. Like I was partners with somebody for a little bit, and you got to make it so it generates money, you know? It does, but then when I left doing that after 2 years because I was like, it's just so close to, like, there's a lot that goes into it. You got to air condition it, heat it, like Jim Jones wasn't doing, obviously. That costs a lot of money for a big space. And, you know, it was coming out to, like, almost break even. You got to come up with all these creative ways to make money with creative spaces, you know. And I think the best way to do it is to chop it into a lot of mini spaces and rent them out for cheaper prices where it's more affordable. He could chop that space into a lot of podcast places, so it's like a podcast. It's like a WeWork for creatives, and he's not doing that. He's making it like a fun house. Well, he dissed Freekey Zeekey, called him soft, because Freekey Zeekey reacted to the whole thing and just put laughing emoji. Freekey Zeekey reacted. How do I play this in both? I'll just play it here.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Now you putting this on the gram? Everybody know.
Toughest nigga in Dipset is Freekey Zeekey by far. It's not even close.
You reaching now, coming at me, bitch ass nigga. You need to be reaching for some kerosene. You need to be reaching for some coals. You need to be reaching for 2 rocks and strike them shits together. I ain't even mad at you, brother. I am mad at the choices you make, though. Because those are all choices of what bitch-ass niggas make, nigga. You can't afford to pay your rent and your heat bill. It's warm over here. It's warm over here. You know what, Jomo? Yeah, you're acting like a Jomo-sexual. Acting like a Jomo-sexual. Calm down, nigga. Bitch-ass nigga.
Now, Freekey Zeekey, the only people that haven't really turned on Jim, which they should, is Joel Santana, because he held Joel Santana's career back by flipping on 50 and involving Joel's and that whole thing where it divided Cameron from Joel's and Jim Jones. Jim Jones led that charge, and it created a friction and a public problem with Dipset. And eventually that kind of like destroyed Joel's career. We've broken that down in another video. I'm not going to do it now because it will take 5 to 10 minutes to describe that. But and if you see Hellrell and J.R. Ryder sitting down with Jim Jones, that doesn't mean they're all cool. I could tell you the real, like, these guys really don't particularly, they're cool. Just like Freekey Zeekey said, I'm not mad at you, we're cool, but like, nah. That's how they kind of are. Because like Jim Jones has done so much to not support people like that and hate on people like that in the past 20 years, right? That, you know, they're just doing it for the promo. They're on a press run. You know, Jim Jones had a podcast. Why not do it with Jim and shoot the stuff about the past, you know? It is what it is, you know? They figured out how to get their masters back. Jim Jones didn't. Same company. Koch. Anyways, I think that's about it for now. Oh, no, there's more. Let's get into this other stuff in the next video because it's a deeper dive. I appreciate you all. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. I'll check you guys later. Peace.